So, what happens when someone really, really wants to serve Jesus for real, live holy and righteous? They get told by the people who are lukewarm, who don't believe and deny the power thereof, that they can be free indeed from all sins through Jesus Christ. They don't believe this because they themselves have sin that they haven't dealt with, and they're not going to Jesus directly and asking him to set them free from it. And that's why they can't get free of it. They can't get free from that demonic bondage that's on their life and on their soul because they're not asking him, first off. And then second off, obedience is not works-based. If you're willing to obey Jesus for real and live holy and righteous the way he says we're supposed to live, they say you're trying to work your way into the kingdom, and you're living under the law, or you're going under the law under the old commandments, yada yada yada. No, that's not it. If you want to obey your father, for example, just picture your dad. If you want to obey him, you know a true love of a father cannot be earned. But you want to obey him because you love him. You obey him because you love him. And you want to show him that you love him by obeying him. And that's how you prove to him, or he knows that you love him. You're not supposed to prove your love. It's not like, okay, I'm your dad, I'll love you if you do every single thing that I say, and I'm not going to love you for the fact that I have you and I made you and created you. Never mind that part. I created you, but I don't love you until you do all this. No, he already loves you, but if you choose to willfully sin against him, you're choosing death and you're choosing the flesh. And that the wages of sin is death. So we can't live in the flesh. We have to live in obedience. John 14 verse 15 says, "If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray to the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more. But ye see me, because I live. You shall live also. At the day you shall know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. He that hath my commandments, and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself to him." Now, what happens is, if you don't keep his commandments, this shows Jesus that you don't want to follow him, you want to rebel, you want to be in disobedience, you love your sin more, and love living in this flesh more than trying to be serving him, improving your love for him, and he won't come into you, he won't abode with you. If you're being disobedient, you're not making room for him, because you're rejecting him. Imagine he wants to hug you or something, and you're saying, no, I want to go do this thing instead. I'm not going to hug you right now. I'll hug you when I feel like hugging you. And this could be maybe, an hour later. And then you come back and finally say, oh, I'll hug you now. And Jesus says, no, that's not how this works. You can't only hug me only when you want. That's not being loving. If I wanted to have a hug and you just rejected me, that would hurt his feelings. We have to obey. We have to be an obedient child. We have to. That's the way of life. We got to learn how to truly love. And we got to learn that love doesn't have sin in it. This world, it's so unloving. It's so sinful. And the reason heaven will be heaven is because people who wanted to die to their sins are going to be who are in heaven. That's what's going to go down. So if you don't want to block the Spirit, you have to obey. The Spirit cannot dwell in unrighteousness. So if you're living in unrighteousness, stop. Ask Jesus to help stop you. Help him to change your spirit. Help him to make you not want to live in unrighteousness anymore. Help him to ask him to open you up to truth. And know that he loves you, and he just wants you to be his child, and wants you to obey and see why his commands are truly the commands of love, and how they protect your soul and they protect other people's souls, and that he's the only way. We have to stop sinning. It's not a workspace. It's because we love him, and it's because we love others. The reason he gave these commands is to fulfill the law of love. Love your neighbor as yourself. All of his commands is loving each other's eternal souls. And if that's obedience, then you don't know what love is. I'm sorry, but I'm so tired of seeing and hearing lukewarm people saying actually wanting to follow Jesus 100% is works-based. It's not. It's people who actually want to learn and follow and love Jesus and know how to love others and represent him correctly. Not represent him in the way that people think. They think who he is just because of man's teachings. No. Actually wanting to follow and obey your father, that's not works-based. If I'm obeying my dad, I'm doing it out of love because I want to honor him in what the Lord will allow me to honor him in, if it's not sinful, because I love him. Not because I just want to be under the law, under bondage to my own dad in real life. It's just the same thing with Jesus. It's not a bondage. I mean, if you're saying following and obeying Jesus is under the law of bondage, then you don't know what salvation is. Read your Bible more. Ask Jesus to show you what it really means, what real salvation and real love is. Just, no one can show you this. I'm just tired of seeing people argue over truly following him it's just trying to put ourselves under the law, and it's not. I hope this helps open somebody's eyes up in some way. I don't know. I just really felt like I needed to talk about it. May Jesus bless you, whoever's watching this.